Another great story that I really enjoy is the whole book of Exodus, the story of Moses taking the people of Israel out of Egypt. The splitting of the Red Sea and all that. It's a great story. But at one point, Moses is up on a high mountain and he's getting the Ten Commandments. And the whole time God's up there talking to Moses and doing this wonderful thing, the people are down below and they're making this golden calf and worshiping it, saying, what happened to Moses? We'll just worship this calf. And God gets so angry at this point. Listen to what he says to Moses. He says, the Lord said to Moses, "Go down at once. Your people, whom you brought up out of the land of Egypt, have acted perversely. They have been quick to turn aside from the way I commanded them. They have cast for themselves an image of a calf, and have worshipped it, and sacrificed to it, and said, 'These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt.' And the Lord said to Moses, 'I have seen this people, how stiff-necked they are. Now let me alone, so that my wrath may burn hot against them, and I may consume them. And of you I will make a great nation.'" God is so angry. He is ready to rain fire down on these people and just burn them all up. And this isn't the first time that God's got mad with the people before, right? I think of the flood, where it wipes everybody out, Sodom and Gomorrah. But it's not also just in the Old Testament. Jesus gets very upset with the disciples like this, and that's what I want to get to. This comes in Mark's Gospel. Jesus also up on a high mountain with a few of the disciples, but not all of them. Jesus has went up on the Mount of the Transfiguration. He's up there and God's doing some wonderful things. And down below, his disciples are down there, the ones that didn't go up with him. And some people have came to them and asked them to help them with something, and they're not able to do it. They lack the faith, the trust in who Jesus is to do this. And so Jesus comes down off the mountain, just like Moses came down off the mountain. And the man who had asked the disciples for some help comes up to Jesus and says, "I went to your disciples, but they couldn't do it." And Jesus turns to the disciples, this is in chapter 9 of Mark's Gospel, and says, "You faithless generation, how much longer must I be among you? How much longer must I put up with you?" Well, those are some pretty harsh words by Jesus. Can you imagine Jesus looking you in the face and saying, "How much longer do I got to put up with you? You faithless generation." Sometimes the people that we love the most can drive us crazy. But that's because we care. We want the best for them. We want to help them. And we see them purposely going off and doing the wrong thing. We just want to take and we sit them down and say, "Don't you understand what you're doing?" But notice what Jesus ends up doing from this point on. He goes to the cross anyway. He still goes to the cross and he dies for them. He goes to the cross, and as he hangs there, he says, "Father, forgive them. They know not what they're doing." He responds to this out of love and compassion. And maybe that's what love really is. Maybe that's a definition of love. Is that despite the way a person makes us feel at times, we're still willing to sacrifice to help them. May Jesus continue to walk with you, even on the days when we kind of upset him sometimes.